All right, I wanted to do a little follow-up to the video on the making of this card, Vellum over the wood grain paper. Something really kind of weird happened with this one, and I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because I didn't brayer down this paper because, the inks were a little bit wet still, so I just kind of gently adhered this top vellum to this wood grain paper underneath. But now that this is completely dried, one of the things that I noticed was that these trunks are raised. Okay, now the wood grain is completely flush with the vellum, except when you go over all of these trunks right here. I guess because I'm just assuming because I used the Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White paint on it and it's wet, okay, and maybe the damp, semi-damp paint didn't adhere, I guess, to this dry wood grain surface. So you had all these trees that are kind of dimensional and they're raised. This one's pretty flat, but this one's really kind of coming out of here. So you have this three-dimensional tree, which is, I guess in this case, it's a good thing. But I was just wishing that I could show you this, how raised. I don't know if you can tell this, but see as I push in here, I mean, it's not coming out of the page like, a quarter inch or anything like that, but I don't know if you can see that little bit of give right in there. It's at least I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch like raised. Doesn't that look like it's raised right there? So it's really flush and then it's rounded like that. So I don't know. I tend to think this looks pretty three-dimensional, but it is three-dimensional. As far as this one goes. So I'll have to kind of think about that in the future in terms of a kind of an intentional technique, maybe. If I try to do it again, will it happen? I don't know. But I found that kind of interesting. And I was feeling around on some of these areas. Some of these areas are raised a little bit more, and some of them are a little bit more flush. Now, I think I used more paint up in these areas, or maybe I colored with the colored pencil over the top of this one, and it kind of flattened it out more. I don't know, but it was kind of interesting. And I don't know, if someone gets one of these cards and kind of feels this like this, they're going to think it's an intentional type of process and want to know how you did it. So pretty interesting. And I guess some sort of bonus maybe in terms of the usage of that white watercolor paint, in this case on the back of vellum. So I don't know, pretty interesting.